So after image recognition, the second example of machine learning is speech recognition, where you are searching anything by voice. Okay, so the Alexa or Siri or in the smartphones or even in the smart televisions, whenever you do any search, so what will happen? So whatever you are searching, it is just matching your speech and whatever words you are saying with the actual data that is being fed. For example, you want to listen to some song and that song has a name and with the keyword. For example, currently there is this song that's going on, that is excuses. So if you just say that play this song, you just say the name, play excuses on YouTube. So it will recognize that, okay, YouTube is being said. It means the app that you have to open is YouTube and the song that is mentioned is excuses. So automatically, by matching all the words that you are saying with actual data that is in the YouTube, it will play that particular song, or it will give you the options that these options under your search are available and you can click on anyone. Okay, and this idea comes under speech recognition, and it's a very popular application, and you are doing speech recognition everywhere. Even if sometimes I want to make a call and I press this button and I ask Siri to make a call to someone, so it means it is just detecting that I am saying the name of certain person who is in my contact list and I want to make a call to it, so it will automatically place a call. So it is only because of machine learning algorithm. Okay, and the data is already there, my contact list is already there, and it is searching through it and just making a call. And it is a process of what actually is happening, that your voice is actually converted into text. Sometimes when I search something on my smart TV, so whatever I am saying, you can see that whatever you are saying, your words are being typed simultaneously in front of you. If you are saying just play this on YouTube, so it will be typing that. It means how the search is happening, it is just converting your speech, your words into text, and it is known as speech to text method or computer speech recognition method. And machine learning algorithms, these are widely used, and in Google Assistant, in Siri, in Alexa, these speech recognition technology is working. Okay, next is the traffic prediction. This is also one example of machine learning. So this is mentioned that whenever you put your destination on GPS, so the directions are there, and also the directions are available, also the places which are highly crowded where the traffic is there. So it is giving you that the red lines on it. The red means it is highly crowded. The prediction is that it is now highly crowded. So if you want to visit a new place, so then we can take the help of Google Maps, which shows us the correct path. So it will always give you the path which is short and less crowded. Okay, and it will give correct path with the shortest route and predicts the traffic conditions also for you. And it predicts the traffic conditions such as whether traffic is cleared, it is slow moving or heavily congested, with the help of two ways. First is known as real-time location. So there are two processes that are going: real-time location of the vehicle from Google Map app and sensors. So whatever your current location is and wherever you want to approach, the time it will take your car or your vehicle to reach there, on the basis of that it will predict it. Okay, then average time has been taken on past days at the same time. So if you are at a certain place, there is certain vehicles who are at the same place, and this was the traffic, so it will give you an idea. Okay, previously the same vehicle or the vehicle of certain people at the same place with the same traffic took almost 2 hours to reach to the destination. So for you it will be also close to that. So the prediction is not actually accurate, but it is very close to the accurate. So everyone who is using this Google Maps, so it is actually helping this app. So who is providing the data? You who are using the data, you are using the Google Map, unknowingly providing the data to them. Okay, when it is detecting your motion, your car's motion, so it is you are actually feeding the data into the Google Map, and your Google Map application is learning. So it's not that only you or I are using it, the whole world is using it. It means so much of the data is being fed, and on the basis of the output that every people get, it predicts the value for the other people also. Okay, so we are not directly feeding the data sometimes whatever activities we are doing, it is actually giving the data. So it takes information and sends back to its database to improve the performance. So other than that, the recommendations that you get when you go on Amazon, they give you the recommendations about the products that you can purchase. When you go on Amazon Prime, they will give you the recommendations about the movies that you can watch. Okay, so why it is giving me recommendation? How it knows that I may want to watch this movie? Because whenever I have logged into the Amazon Prime, previously my history shows that these kinds of movies were my favorite and I used to watch them. So next time, whenever I visit it again, on the basis of my past watches or searches or views, it will give me the recommendation similar to that. Similarly on Netflix also. Okay, so machine learning, it is also used by various business or e-commerce and entertainment companies such as Amazon or Netflix, for example. Even Z5 and all others, they are using this for product recommendations to the user. Okay, so whenever we search for some product on Amazon, then we started getting an advertisement for the same product whilst internet surfing on the same browser, and this is because of machine learning. Now this is also an example. Let's suppose on Amazon I'm searching for one dress, okay, and somehow I may not later on I'm not interested to buy it. So what happened, I just close that Amazon site, but I'm on the same browser and I'm searching something else. Maybe I'm surfing and I'm using Facebook. So what will happen, you will see that the same dress will pop up in front of you on your Facebook as recommendation. So how it is happening, that machine is learning and it is following you. Okay, it means the Facebook has also implemented these algorithms where they can track you, okay, on the internet. So Google understands the user interest, what interests your user, what kind of clothes, what kind of movies, and using various machine learning algorithms suggest you the product. How it is getting the data, why it is recommending you that dress? Because whenever you visited that site, you searched that, you looked at dress, you checked the price, and you checked the options about it. So what you did, you actually fed the data to the algorithm that this is the choice of the user. Okay, and based on that, it has thrown the recommendations to you. Maybe the same one or maybe the similar. Okay, if you are not interested, there are similar dresses like this. Have you come across such thing that whenever you search for a dress, and if you don't like, there are recommendations there that you might like this also. Similar dresses it will throw on the basis of your search. It means you are feeding the data to it. As similar, when we use Netflix or Amazon Prime, we find some recommendations for entertainment series, movies. So suppose there is one series that's my favorite, and from the past 1 month I'm watching it. So in between, it will give me the recommendations that like your previous views, that your previous interests. So these are the series that you might like to watch in future. Okay, so my previous interest is actually a data for it, and on the basis of that data, it is recommending me new things, and this is only because of machine learning. Then there are self-driving cars. This is one of the most exciting application, and it is known as self-driving cars, and machine learning is actually the idea behind it. So Tesla, the most popular car manufacturing company, is working on self-driving car. Okay, so it is learning from the experiences. So more it is walking on the street and the data being fed to it, all the roads, the traffics being already informed to it. So it is capable of driving on its own. So it is using unsupervised learning. So unsupervised learning means that it is not sure that if it is predicting that traffic will not be there, but whenever you reach at that place, there are chances that traffic suddenly approaches you. So unsupervised means everything is not fixed. It may change at any time. Okay, and it is using unsupervised learning method to train the car models to detect people and objects while driving. So next is we are done with certain applications of machine learning that you are seeing, watching every day, and don't know that why this is happening. So actually machine learning is working behind it. Next, we are working on machine learning life cycle. So how you make your machine learn something. So what are the steps that follows? So machine learning has given the computer system the ability to automatically learn. Okay. And you don't program it, it is automatically learning from it. And how does a machine learning system work? So it can be described using the life cycle of machine learning. So machine learning life cycle is a cyclic process to build an efficient machine learning project. The main purpose of the life cycle is to find a solution to the problem or project. So can you see that whenever your machine is learning, it goes through these steps. First of all, data being gathered. Okay, so gathering the data, then data preparation, then data wrangling, then analysis of the data, then training the model, testing the model, deployment. Okay, so the first 4 steps are all about data. You're preparing your data, you're making it good, you're making it perfect so that you can feed that data to your machine. Once you are ready with your data, you feed that data into your machine and you train your machine. Okay, by feeding the data to it. After feeding the data, now you are ready to test it. So I am testing the model that whether it is predicting it right or not. Once you are sure that your machine is ready, you deploy it. Deploy it means you just send it in the market. You are ready to launch it. Okay, so let's study these steps. So these 7 steps are again mentioned. So gathering data, data preparation, wrangling data, analysis of the data, train the model, test the model, deployment. And it's a cycle. Sometimes you deploy the machine and you find that the machine is ready. Now your machine will not stop. Students, machine once in the beginning gather the data, you prepare the data, and you do certain steps on the data, then you train the data, your machine, then you test your machine, and then you put it in the market. After that, it's not like this that your machine is now not able to get more data. Your machine is still getting the data. As I told you that this GPS system, Google Map system, it's a kind of app, it's kind of a machine. So every day when you are using it, you are feeding the data into it. So it is getting the data again. That's why it's a cycle. So this process will keep on. It is again collecting the data on its own. It is training the model. It means it is improving the performance and testing, and you are putting it in the actual launch phase. So first of all, what is gathering of the data? It is a very first step, and the main goal is to identify and obtain all data related problems. Okay, so your data at the end is going to solve some problem. So whatever data related to that problem is available, you try to collect it. So gathering means collection of the data. What data I want to feed, so I have to collect it. It's not like that if I want to predict the weather, I will feed the road data to my machine. No, if I want to predict the weather, I have to feed the weather data. Okay, so collection of the data, related data is the very first step. And in this step, we actually identify the different data sources. Okay, from where I will get the data. Maybe I will get the data from the online resources. The data is already available, so I can fetch it from there. Sometimes the data is not available. You have to create it on your own. Okay, so you have to identify the sources from which you can collect the data, as data can be collected from various sources. For example, they can be collected from files, from database, from internet, or even from the mobile devices. And it is one of the most important steps. The quantity and quality of the collected data actually determine the efficiency of the output. I already told you, the more the data, the better the data. If the data has errors in it, obviously the prediction will be more on the wrong side. But if the data is correct, quality means it is correct. Okay, quantity means more data. Okay, so if the quantity and quality is good, so the efficiency of the output will automatically increase. The more will be the data, the more accurate will be the prediction. Okay, so the following tasks will be performed to collect the data, to gather the data. First of all, we identify the data sources from where I want to collect the data. I want to collect the data from files, If it is not available on internet, maybe from some databases, maybe from internet, maybe mobile. Okay, once I identify the data sources, then I collect the data. It means I start collecting the data. Once I collected it from different data sources, suppose in the collection phase, some data I collected from internet, some data I collected from files. So in the third step, I have to combine the data. I mean, integrate the data that I have obtained from different sources. Okay, so by performing the above task, we get a coherent set of data, also called a data set. Okay, now that data set is now available to you to perform the further steps on it. So in nutshell, this gathering data has these 4 steps. First is identify the data sources from where you want to collect the data, from the internet and what sources. Then when you identify them, start collection. Once you collect the data, integrate the data, and now your data is ready to pass to the next step. Next is data preparation. So what is data preparation? It means, students, whenever we get the data from certain sources, we are not sure that whether that data is accurate or not, whether that data is perfect, whether that data is ready to feed directly. Maybe we have to make some modifications, maybe we have to arrange it. That is known as data preparation. Okay, so after collection, we need to prepare it for further steps. So it is a step where we put our data into a suitable place and prepare it to use in our machine learning training. Okay, so first step, we put all data together and then we order the data. We arrange it in certain orders. Okay, and it happens in the following 2 steps. First is data exploration. Okay, in data exploration, we explore our data. We go over our data, that what is the kind of our data, what is the type of our data, that comes under nature of data. Okay, is it a numerical data? When I will come across that part, but there are different types of data. So we have to check that whether it is the numerical data, means it is in the form of numbers, or it is a category data, yes, no, true, false kind of data. So we have to check the nature of our data. And we have to understand the characteristics of it, the format and quality. Okay, so characteristics means what are the labels, what is the format, if the data which is numerical, it is in decimal, it is floating point, or it is integer. Okay, and then we have to check the quality. Quality means whether it is free of error or not. Maybe sometimes what happens, you collect the data and there is this row in which for this column data is available and for the next 2 columns data is missing. So that data is a waste. So we have to remove that row. So it means this is actually decreasing the quality. So you have to remove it. So a better understanding of data leads to an effective outcome. Okay, in this we find correlation, general trends and outliers. This we will discuss. Data pre-processing. First of all, we are exploring the data, then we are doing the pre-processing. Okay. So pre-processing, now the next step is pre-processing of data for its analysis. Okay, now what is data wrangling? Data wrangling is the process of cleaning and converting raw data into a usable format. I said that this data is not good for me. So I have detected it in the data preparation. Now my main motive is just to clean it. So that I will do in the data wrangling. Okay. So data wrangling is the process of cleaning and converting your raw data into a usable format. It is the process of cleaning the data. Select the variables that you want to use. So suppose I have data in which there are 10 columns, but there are 2 columns that I don't need for that machine. So I have to select these 3 only for that. Okay. And we need to transform it into a proper format to make it more suitable for analysis in the next step. And it is also one of the important, because in this phase, we are actually doing what? We are cleaning the data. Okay. And cleaning the data, it also includes that whatever missing values are, you have to clean them. Duplicate data. Missing values, I gave you the example. Duplicate data means there are 2 rows. Here, this column has 1 value, and then there is 1 more column in which the same value is repeating, the same 2 values. So I have to work on it. Invalid data. Invalid data means the data I have collected, it is numerical. All the data is numerical, and then there is 1 row in which the character data is available. It means that is invalid. Okay. Then there is certain noise. So by noise, I mean So here we are working on integers, the numbers. So what is noise? So whenever you collect the images, so data is not always numbers. Sometimes we have to collect the data in the form of images, image data. Okay, so whenever you click an image, what happens? Maybe due to disturbance, your camera shakes and the image becomes blurred, or maybe the person or the view whose image you are taking, maybe it is moving. So what will happen? Your image will get blurred, the data will get blurred. So what will happen? It means the noise is being introduced. So you have to enhance the quality of the image by removing that noise. Okay, so you can use different filtering techniques to clean the data. It is mandatory to detect and remove the above issues because it can negatively affect the output of your final machine. Okay, after that, the next step is data analysis. So we have actually gathered the data, we have collected the data. After that, after collecting the data, we are preparing the data. It means we are just exploring the data, that if there are missing values or something like that. After that, we are removing those values. Data wrangling means cleaning. Now we need to do the analysis. So in analysis, you have cleaned and prepared data from the previous step, and now you are feeding that data for the analysis step. So first of all, the main aim is to do the analysis. Okay, by analysis means for this data that you are getting, which technique will be best, which model will be best. You want to apply classification on it, you want to apply regression on it, you want to apply cluster analysis or association. So analysis means you have data with you, the data is free of error and everything, data is ready. Now you do the analysis, that like I told you, that you are just plotting that data and you check that which model is actually best suited for this data. After that, now you have decided on the model also, now you have to train the machine. Okay, and by training means you actually feed the data. So we use data sets to train the model, and using various machine learning models that we have, training a model is required so that it can understand the various patterns, rules, and features available in your data set. Now you have fed the data, now you are ready to test the model. So once our machine learning model has been trained by a given data set, we will test it. So in this step, we are actually checking the output's accuracy, okay, by giving it a test data set. So testing the model determines the percentage accuracy. Maybe the output it is predicting 100% accurate, maybe it is 98% accurate. So that comes under the test. Deployment, the last step is to do the deployment, where we deploy the model in the real world system. For example, so suppose you will get the project of Google Maps. So you did all these steps. After doing all these steps, now you want to put it into its place so that everyone can use it. The real world people can use it. Okay, means you are launching it. It means the deployment. So in the above prepared model, if the above prepared model is giving an accurate result, you are sure that it will predict accurately and people can use it, and it is giving it at a good speed, then we deploy the model in the real system. But before deploying the project, we will check whether it is improving its performance using available data or not. But before deployment, this step is also important, that whether it has the power to gain more data from the real world or not. And by using that data, is it capable of improving its performance on the day-to-day basis? If yes, then you launch it, and it is similar to making the final report of a project. So deployment means now you are making the final report that this is the procedure, this is how you can use it, these are the features, it is ready, and you deploy it. So this is the last step, and I hope that this is clear to all of you. So with that, I am ending this class, and I hope you got a good idea of the classification of machine learning, and what are the applications of machine learning, and what are the steps through which your machine life cycle goes when you train your machine. So with that, I am ending this class. Thank you.